What's up, people? Welcome to the Word on the Street podcast coming at you. It is Tuesday, May 20th, the year 2000, and chill as always, people. Special episode tonight, special guest. I'll introduce him in 1 second here. But of course, just to let you know who we have on, we've got a couple regulars. We got the Ninja. We got Ross a little bit later on. My bastard son, he's coming up. We do have Jake, Stone Cold Jake from the MMA podcast. Producing, and he just gave you a hell yeah. We'll get to them in a second. Of course, my co-host and other special guest is none other than Team Sunin's coach, MMA coach, boxing coach. You never know what he might turn up to be next. Perhaps maybe you'll see him stitching people up, and he's left and right. He's all over the place. He's Coach Jamie, the living legend Huey. How are you doing, Coach?
Outstanding, fellas.
Good to have you back, man, as always. And our special guest for tonight, he's coming to us from Brazil, but via Portland, I believe, Washington. You never know. We'll find out where he is in a second. He is on this season's The Ultimate Fighter Brazil 3. He is a member of Team Sunin. The only word to describe him is Bomba. That's who he is. He's on with us right now. Live on the Word on the Street podcast. Our guest, he's gonna fight in the UFC card coming up. We'll get to that in a second. We'll ask him about it. But here he is, none other than Bomba. How are you doing, sir? How are you?
How are you guys?
Good, man. Everybody's good, man. Welcome to the Word on the Street. And Bomba, I don't want to embarrass myself by even trying to pronounce your real name. I'm just gonna ask you. Your actual real name. Can you pronounce that for us?
Guilherme.
Guilherme. Okay, and then the last name I believe is Vasconcelos, or pronounce that different?
Vasconcelos. Yeah, you're right.
Excellent. But people know you as Bomba. So of course, the first question: where did that nickname Bomba come from?
I got one aggressive. My game is like an explosive game, so I go forward on the fight all the time. So that's why I start on jiu-jitsu. I always go to finish my fights. I always won by submission, so that's why.
Excellent, and we are so glad that your English is also excellent. Where did you learn how to speak it?
I was living in California for 2 years, but I'm back to Brazil, staying more 2.5 years, so I stopped talking English. So first, I'm sorry, guys, I really gonna try to do my best today.
No, so far so good, definitely. Like I said, don't even worry about it. This is just a fun show. I mean, it's all, if it gets ridiculous, it gets ridiculous, but I don't think that'll be the case. You're fighting on the Ultimate Fighter Brazil. We've seen you. You were picked for Team Sunin, Chael Sonin's team.
Yes.
Honestly, when the show started, did you want to be on Chael's team or Vanderlei's team, or did you not care whose side you were on?
No. First, I don't care because I go there I go to represent myself in the show. That's the idea, Mm-hmm. So, but you have teams. So first, before Vanderlei was my idol because I always watch him on Pride and these things. And when I meet Chael, I'm a little bit scared. But after he chose me, I talked to him about a couple hours, and my mind changed about him.
Yeah. That's what a lot of people say after they get a chance to be coached by Chael. We've talked to a number of people who have been on The Ultimate Fighter and coached by Chael, and a lot of them changed their mind. Now, I have to ask, it's a little odd that you're actually, from what the reports are, you're going to fight on a UFC card. You're going to fight on UFC 175 on July 5th, in the Mandalay Bay Event Center in Las Vegas. So you're going to fight on an actual UFC card, and the rumor and the reports are that it has a lot to do with your relationship with Chael Sonnen. How did you go from being on the show to now having a guaranteed fight at UFC 175, and how much did Chael Sonnen have to do with that, honestly?
You know, we worked there together. I think he saw my skills, he liked my style. So when I, I asked him about training with him here in the United States, he said, okay, let's do this. When I get out, I call him and I say, hey, I want to go. He say, come over here. And I go to California. So we train together there with Mark Munoz, with a lot of guys. And I don't, he believed in me. So he called Dana and he said, you have to give chance to this guy. And Dana gave my chance, you know, so that's what happened.
Nice. Now, I do have to ask, before we get to your fight at UFC 175, during the Ultimate Fighter, there was, I gotta ask you, you were there. There was the big fight that everybody saw between Vanderlei and Chael. There was Chael double legged him. Vanderlei was trying to do some kind of punch slap to him. It was a big scuffle, big commotion. It looked like it was almost a damn riot. You were there. How did the fighters feel about that? The coaches doing that. How did you feel?
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, I think everybody stay outside the door and look and say, oh my God, something wrong gonna happen. Something wrong gonna happen. One moment, both start fight. Everybody run and it's crazy. You know, I never saw something like this before, so it's crazy.
Yeah, and I do have to ask you, the guy, a fellow Brazilian of yours, Andre Dida, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. He sucker punched Chael, ambushed him, attacked him, got in the middle, but it hit him in the back of the head.
Yeah.
Was he a nice guy to you though, or how do you feel about Dida hitting Chael and getting kicked off the show?
You know, I just saw on the video after, and the right moment I don't saw he punched, but you know, it's a bad. You know, it's bad what he doing. You know, he was a nice guy with me, but I understand he likes Vanderlei, but I like Chael too, and the coach like Chael too, but nobody wanted this. So no, everybody want to stop the fight. No start one more bigger fight. You know, that's the idea. So I think Giro they make a big mistake.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I agree. I agree with that. Big mistake. Career affecting mistake almost. An illegal assault was sad to see. Your opponent at UFC 175, you're going to fight Luke Zachrich. Zachrich. I don't know how you pronounce it. Do you know anything about him? Have you ever met him? Have you seen any of his fights yet? Are you going to rewatch his fights?
I saw him fight live.
Oh, you've
And
seen him
then
fight.
last UFC when he lost.
Yeah,
So I
Verdun
was
versus
there
Brown.
with Chael, and I saw him fight live, but I don't have idea. And that time I'm gonna fight against him. So I have video about him going inside the cage. That's funny. I make video and it's him. Yeah,
So,
I saw how he fight. You know, you know, I wanna show my best performance. So I'm ready to fight with him on the ground. You know, stand up, striking. So wrestling. I'm ready to any kind of fight you wanna fight with me. That's
yeah.
my idea. That's my goal.
Now, for the people that don't know, who's helping you? How are you preparing? Where are you right now? How are you preparing for this fight?
Yes, I'm here in Portland right now, training with Chelsea. So we make the camp together. So
Nice.
Coach Clayton help us, and that's it. We train together for this
Nice.
fight.
Training with Chael Sonnen and Clayton Hires for your first UFC debut fight.
Yeah, now Raya Hall is coming too. So
Uriah Hall actually coming to train with you. Nice. That'll damn.
bad guys and dark side together right now.
Yep. That's a good camp for a UFC debut, I have to say. You're training with some of the best.
Yeah.
Do your countrymen, other Brazilians, do they give you crap or any shit for training with Chael Sonnen? Honestly, are they calling you a traitor, or is everybody cool?
Oh, I think everybody cool.
Nice.
I don't know if somebody think wrong, they don't say me nothing. But
Yeah. I don't doubt that. Coach Huey, you know Bomba. You were there, the Ultimate Fighter. Assistant coaching Team Sonnen. He was on it. What can you say? Can you vouch for him? I always have to ask what Coach Huey thinks of this man. What you can say about Bomba.
Coach Jamie always believed me that he helped me a lot on the season. You know, when I lost my fight, you know, it's hard. You keep training, and he motivates me all day. He gives me some ball and ask him to explain this ball. I still got it this time.
Yeah, wait, a ball? What, Coach? What's going on here? What's the word on the street?
Well, so it's season 17. When I was younger, I used to carry a rubber ball around in my pocket, and I don't know, I just carried it around and bounced it all the time. I saw Rocky Balboa carrying around a racquetball, so I don't know. I had a rubber ball. I used to carry it all the time, and I kind of developed this whole thought process around it. It's like when you get knocked down, you don't spend any time. You just bounce back up, and I don't know what kind of prompted me, but I brought that back at TUF 17, and I started handing out these balls to everybody. And I said, "Hey, man, you guys gotta just react. You can't sit around and think if things don't go your way. In this house, there's going to be a lot of distractions, a lot of tough things. So, this rubber ball needs to really kind of represent your attitude and your mindset. And as soon as you bounce it, and as soon as it hits the ground, it comes back up. You don't think about that. So, next thing you know, I had every single person on the Ultimate Fighter season 17 carrying around these balls, even guys on John Jones's team. In fact, at one point they yelled at him, production yelled at him in the Tough House. Where the hell are all these freaking rubber balls coming from? Because they were just showing up, and they were concerned because they have all these very expensive lights everywhere. So anyway, that was kind of where it originated from. And, when Bomba, I thought Bomba kind of got a raw deal. When he fought Demente, I thought it should have went 3 rounds. I mean, I thought Demente won one of the rounds. Bomba won one of the rounds, and the momentum was in our favor going into the third. But they gave 2 rounds to Demente, which I didn't think was a very good decision. Anybody watching the fight would probably tell you the same thing. But so Bomba was out. It was kind of a bad situation, and Bomba was one of my favorite guys, man. I mean, on a team like that, you love everybody. Everybody's on your team. Everybody you do anything for. But there's certain guys that just kind of stand out, and Bomba was kind of the guy that I really got the closest to, and he was the guy that I was really excited for. And so when we got that bad decision, kind of a raw deal, then I brought back the rubber ball concept. I had one in my bag, and I gave it to Bomba and said, "Hey, man, keep your head up. You get knocked down, you bounce back up." And so more or less, that's kind of where that came from again.
Gotcha. I don't think they've shown any of that on the show yet. I'm not sure. This week we saw you guys trying to jump rope, but I'll ask you about that in a couple minutes, Coach. Bomba, you're probably hopefully this makes sense to you. You're probably, as far as betting and gambling goes, since this is your debut fight, you might be the underdog in the betting in the odds, if that makes sense. They might say that Luke is supposed to beat you as far as gambling and betting money on the fight goes. Um,
Yeah. I
do you
understand.
guarantee us that you're gonna win, Bomba? Are you gonna beat this guy? Uh, how is your confidence right now?
Man, I go to win. You know, I always go to win, and I always go to fight hard. You know,
Yeah.
that's my that's my game plan.
No, I hear you,
I
man.
go to fight hard and win. About being an underdog, I don't care about this because all my fights, I used to be a underdog.
Yeah.
I always fight against guys have a 20, 10 fights more than me, so normal. I don't care about this. This is just numbers.
Yep. Yeah, this guy does have about 10 to 12 more fights than you. I'm going to bet on you, Bomba. I'm going to put money down. I believe you're training with some of the best people, and there's a reason they believed in you and brought you over to the UFC. So yeah, I'm definitely going to put a lot of money down on you. I believe in you. But is it true that this fight's going to be at, I think at, is it going to be at 185 pounds or 170? Or are you doing two? I don't even know
The
what the weight
fight's gonna
class.
be a 185.
185. And aren't you used to fighting as a welterweight? 170?
Yeah, I fight welterweight, and I hope after this fight I back welterweight.
So you'd like to end
But
up there.
they proposed me this fight and this show. I can't refuse. I say, oh, it's a big show, you know, it's a big chance, you know. I just can't say no to this fight.
Oh hell no. Yeah. Who's gonna say no to Dana White?
Yes,
Your
yes.
new boss. You met him on the show. I think. Hopefully, have you met Dana White?
I met him before tough trial. This fun story. I walk in the streets on the Rio, and I saw him, and I talked to him, and he say, "Hey, you coming for trials?" I say, "Yeah." He say, "Okay, good luck tomorrow." And I know I never saw him again. I hope saw him right now, and I'm gonna talk to him about this.
He was just walking around on the streets of Brazil.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's funny. Yeah,
I
in
gotta.
reality, he he stopped by some place for eat some acai, and I saw him. So I said, "Oh my God, look, it's Dana White." And I go there, stop and talk to him.
That's crazy. What about the news this week? I don't know if you heard or not about Shogun Hua. I wanted to ask since you're from Brazil. I don't know what part of
Yeah,
Brazil you're
yeah,
from. Yeah, Shogun Hua got robbed at gunpoint in Brazil. They took his car, his clothes, his cell phone, everything, left him on the street. Is that is that something that happens normally, or was he targeted? Like,
it's not
what do you
normally,
think?
but sometimes happen. You know,
Yeah.
you know.
Where in Brazil are you from?
I'm from Belo Horizonte.
Belo Horizonte. Gotcha. Nice. Um, One more quick question before we let you go. Again, thank you for your time so much. Bomba, what I gotta ask since he's a champion fighter from your country. Um,
Uh huh.
he's Anderson Silva. We saw his leg get horribly broken, torn apart in the fight against Chris Weidman. Broke his leg. He's 39
Yeah.
years old. He wants to make a comeback at 40 years old with that kind of an injury, that leg break. Do you think he should fight again, or I mean, like, do you support him rehabbing and trying to come back so quick? Is it like, do you think it's just pride, or do you think he can actually come back? You're a Brazilian, so
Uh,
you know your kind better than I do.
it's hard to to say about something about about this because we never know what's going on, what he thinking right now. You know, I'm sure he don't need more money. I'm sure he don't need more fame. But maybe he want to prove to himself, you know. And I think he's just this. He want to prove he can't go back. I think That's it.
Yeah.
The only reason so he's back for me is this.
And what about Vanderlei Silva? He's gonna fight Chael Sonnen. Do you think he will fight Chael? And who do you think, like no bullshit, honestly, who do you think is going to win between Chael Sonnen and Vanderlei Silva?
I believe Chael gonna put him down
Yeah.
easy like put him before, and he gonna control all the fight.
Yeah.
That's the thing I think and I believe and I hope this happens.
Me too. All
But
of us.
Joe is amazing boxing too. He's a good boxing guy, but he don't need box with Vanderlei because he have much better wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
So just take him down and punish him on the ground. I think that's the strategy. So
Hell
the
yeah.
right strategy.
That's definitely the winning strategy. I agree, but it would be fun as hell to see a knockout. But we'll see what happens. You'll be there fighting on the same card. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, fight before, so I'm gonna saw live.
Yep. Yeah, make sure you win as quick as possible if that's your thing, and then enjoy the rest of the night watching these fights. This
Help
card
him
is
warm up,
crazy.
then let's go.
Hell yeah, man. There you go. Bomba, I can't thank you enough for your time. Hopefully I'm not butchering this. Guilherme Vasconcelos. Follow him on Twitter. But where can people fans find you and talk to you if they want to reach out or find information about you? Bomba, where can they contact?
Yes, on my Twitter. Yes, on my Twitter is Vasconcelos _D.
Hell yeah, I'll retweet that after the show here, definitely. Let's get them pumped up on the followers. Let's build the hype. I'm going to bet a lot of money on you, Bomba. I'm not even gonna pretend like I'm not. I believe in you. I wish you nothing but luck. You're training with the best. Say hi to Chael, Clayton, and Uriah Hall for me. And thank you for
coming. Coach Jamie and Coach Clayton. All these guys help us a lot.
Yep, Clayton hires Scott McCory, Coach Jamie Huey, who we're about to talk to you for a few minutes. All of them good guys, and that's why don't doubt Bomba, guys. Don't sleep on this one. I'm already telling you, he'll be the underdog on the betting, but this is going to be easy money, man. Everything points to that, all right? That's the word on the street about Bomba. So thank you, Bomba. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Hopefully we'll have you on again after you win and you start your UFC career.
Thank you, man. And I'm sorry again, my English, I just trying. But thank you for the opportunity.
It was perfect. We understood every word. You're ready to. I can tell you right now. You can give interviews. You're ready. Like there was no problem at all. Your English is great, man. I hope you stay in the U.S. for a long time, fighting, and I hope this is just the beginning.
Okay. Yes. I will fight for this.
Hell yeah. Team Sonnen's Bomba, now a UFC fighter coming up July 5th. Thank you very much, and we'll talk to you soon, sir. Definitely.
Okay.
Good night, Bomba. We'll talk to you later. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
There he goes, people. Guilherme Vasconcelos. Bomba. Coach Huey, man. The dude, man, I was going to bring up his loss on TUF, but again, we did touch on this briefly last week, but he lost his TUF fight, but now he's getting a chance to fight in the UFC. It's pretty rare. So hopefully I didn't miss anything. I'm seeing all the signs. This guy is someone to bet on, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct? I mean, or is this a fluke? Did he save Chael's life, and so now he's getting this fight in the UFC as a favor, getting repaid? What's the real story?
He earned his spot. He definitely earned his spot. Bomba was a guy that took the one all the way to the end. We were just really, he was one round away from really having the opportunity. Demente, anybody that's watching the season, as you kind of saw what had happened, Demente is getting ready to fight our guy Lyoto. So he's all the way in the semifinal. So Demente is a tough guy. He's actually Vanderlei's very close friend. I believe they're actually partners in Vanderlei's gym in Las Vegas. Mike Costa, Demente, and Vanderlei, if I understand correctly. But he drew a tough guy, man. And had he closed the gap on that round, I don't know. I thought it should have went 3 personally, but he's legitimate, man. This guy can do it all. He's a world champion jiu-jitsu. He's a Muay Thai is just amazing. He's boxing, but more than anything, like you said, he's a guy that he likes to fight. He's a scrappy guy. He comes to win. He doesn't take the easy road. He comes out there, put the shots together, and he's a performer. So even if Bomba in a win, lose, or draw situation, you can bet that Bomba's going to put 100% effort into his fight. So, he absolutely deserved the opportunity. He deserves to be in the UFC. So I'm glad that they recognized his potential and gave him that opportunity.
It's crazy, man. There's got to be something to this guy that just hasn't been revealed to the general public yet. Is what I'm getting at. I'm gonna make
it. It's kind of one of those things. Yeah, people will watch him and they'll start to notice it. But he's a special guy, man. He's like I said, he was one of my favorite guys on this season. He just was a guy that just for him. And I almost feel guilty I saying this, and I kind of forgot about it, but I actually. So when everybody shows up initially to fight in the house, I cornered a guy that fought him in the house. So I actually cornered against Bomba to get in the house. I didn't know Bomba, and I didn't know the guy was cornering, but they just put some guys in each locker room. But watching Bomba's fight, he fought a kid that I can't remember the guy cornered. But he had the mohawk, and he got caught in an arm bar, and he got rocked, and So I almost feel guilty about stuff like that now because, Bomba's my guy. So, thinking like I told somebody else what they needed to do to try to win.
His ass.
Yeah. It's weird, man. It really is when I think back on it. But now it's like, he's just such a good dude, man. We were very lucky to have him on our team.
Yeah, man. He seemed like a good guy, man. He seemed pretty laid back, chilled out, relaxed, wasn't nervous at all, man. Bomba, one to watch. But Coach, we're already on episode 11 of the Ultimate Fighter Brazil 3. Last episode, I gotta say, the new assistant coach on Team Sun was kind of highlighted. I already forgot his name. Yeah. The dude with glasses.
Eric Albarson.
Right. Yeah. He comes in, and all of a sudden, you guys are in the octagon jumping rope. And I have to say, Coach, it looked like you were having some trouble in the few glimpses that we saw. Boxing being your thing, aren't you supposed to have the jump roping thing down with the twirling and the spins and stuff like you were Rocky Balboa?
Yeah, I mean, I when I was fighting, and that was a long time ago. I jumped for 45 minutes. I jumped for 3 minutes. I take a minute off. I jump 3 minutes, and I'd go for a 45 minute. And I can still keep a good rhythm and go for rounds, but Eric's just on another level, man. This guy's doing backflips and twirls,
break dancing,
switching hands, and Eric's incredible. Like Chael told me, he goes, "Hey man," he goes, "when you see Eric jump rope, you're not even gonna believe what this guy's capable of doing." I'm like, all right, well, okay, cool. I've been around the boxing gym. I've seen some guys do some pretty cool stuff, but Eric just took it to another level, man. This guy, Eric was a very elite collegiate wrestler. I think he got pretty close to making the Olympic team, but I believe they got away with his weight class. And Eric's obviously he's a smaller guy, so I think they got rid of the low weight class. So he ended up wrestling up like 10 or 15 pounds and still did well, but obviously, size is a lot of it in wrestling. But then he was a captain in the Army. Eric's a stud, man. He's a good dude. He's got a really great mindset as a coach. He knows what to say. He's really the only elite wrestling coach in Brazil that I know of. He's the wrestling coach over at the Nogueira brothers, Team Nogueira. So as far as wrestling in Brazil, it's not a big, it's not a big sport over there. So he's really kind of a commodity. And he trained probably at least 6 guys that were on the show. 2 of them being on Vanderlei's team were actually Team Nogueira fighters. So Eric was definitely speaks Portuguese, so he was an asset to us.
Oh, cool. Yeah, he seemed like a cool guy. He just had that look to where you'd be like, all right, let's party with this guy. Why not?
Yeah, he's an animal. He's a character. He brought a lot of fun to the show.
Yep. Do you know how many episodes are actually left on TUF Brazil 3? We're at episode 11.
If we're at 11, I'm gonna guess there's 2. I think we got 13 total. I believe that's what I was told. So anybody out there that's listening that hasn't been up on the season, go get UFC Fight Pass. They're all available on there. So literally, you can just jump through. You can do like I did with Game of Thrones for the first 2 seasons. You can just sit down and do like a freaking 25-hour marathon.
Oh, now you got me, man.
All the way up.
Are you all caught up on the Thrones, man?
I'm not, man. I watched the first 2 seasons.
Oh no.
And then I just I've just been so busy, man. There's so much stuff going on. But I did watch an episode the other day. I was completely lost because is it season 3 or 4 at this point?
I think right now it's 4 just started. Yeah.
So I need to catch back up, man. I need to have time because that's a great show.
How could you get through season 2, which ends with the White Walkers reveal? At the end of the season,
I know,
and you don't even pick it back. Oh man.
I was in Brazil, I was in Vegas, I was in Portland. I was like, yeah, man, I'm definitely missing out. I know it. I got to sit down and make some time for it. Yeah, I do remember the Death Walker Zone. I was like, oh damn, I got to watch this.
It was badass, but I also I watched the whole damn thing, and now I'm actually reading the books one by one. I'm getting deep into it, man. They got me.
Yeah,
they got me, man. That's cool. You actually still, well, I guess not right about now, but you still find time to watch shows because you're scheduled, man. I mean, I've known you for a couple years now. You're all over the place. It's nonstop, man. But you actually do get to sit around and have your favorite shows. I mean, not as much as I wish, man. Not as much as I wish, but I'm happy, man. I'm doing what I love. So I wish there was more time to do more of what I love. But it's nice to sit down and watch a TV show every once in a while too. So yeah.
Yeah, there's so much good stuff out there too, though. It's like I know I just know I'm missing out on a lot of things as far as the TV world goes. But in fact, it's kind of ironic. I sat around with my roommate the other day, and right before I left for Oregon, and we must have played a 12-hour game of what's the Vice City, the
Grand Theft Auto.
Get the name down. Grand Theft Auto, man.
Oh, no,
right?
the new one, 5.
Like 12 hours, just 12 hours into it, like, man,
rampage.
I could get so addicted to this game, but.
Yeah, dude. They just released the new footage, the gameplay footage for the new UFC game that's coming out. And like, I'm already.
Yeah, I'm a little.
Yeah, I'm a psycho.
Yeah,
man.
I'm a little upset with EA Sports. I got a beef with EA Sports.
No kidding, man. What the hell? They released some screenshots of, the game, the career mode on the Ultimate Fighter. EA Sports is producing it. The game mode starts off putting you through the Ultimate Fighter tournament. That's part of the game now. It's new, and then they were showing it off, and they were showing highlights, and they were showing assistant coaches, and Jamie, I didn't see you, man. What's going on here?
Well,
Is this some kind of sick joke?
I'm glad they got Mike. They got Doce in there. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm happy about that.
Yeah, because he's on every episode.
Vinny's not in there. Scott's not in there. Clayton's not in there. I'm not in there. I'm a little. I got a bone with EA Sports, man. I got a bone to pick with those guys down there. But
no kidding.
Yeah, what they did was, shout out to our friend John Wood over at Syndicate. He's a great guy and he's a friend of mine. But he was on Team Jones, man, and they put him on. They put him in the dark side jersey.
The losing team.
I didn't even know it was him until Vinny told me. Yeah, I think that's Sean Wood, and I'm like, what?
Oh, God.
What was he doing? First of all, he didn't have any tattoos. You couldn't recognize him. But I don't know, man. I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that game.
Yeah, you were almost pretty much back-to-back seasons of the Ultimate Fighter. You can't make the game. That is some bullshit. John Wood.
He's a good dude. John Wood actually owns a Syndicate gym in Las Vegas, and he's got a real successful gym and a successful team over there.
Yeah, I'm sure,
he's a friend of mine.
But he's taking up some space in that video game. That's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, he was John Jones' coach, so yeah, I get it. That was kind of like, what the hell was this shit, man? Come on.
He pulled into your parking space, is what I'm saying, man.
There you go.
Yep, everybody knows who John Wood is. Actually, I'm told he's a good guy, but it's once you sign up for the opposing team, I'll never forget that. But actually, Vinny did make the game. Are you? I actually don't.
Oh, is Vinny in the game?
I don't know. I don't know. They just showed some goofy rendered coaches, and I'm like, all right, I guess that kind of looks like Mike Dolce. Man, they should pay for your likeness. EA Sports should do the right thing, put you in the game, and send you the check, $20,000, easy. At least 20 for your likeness. And we were talking.
I don't know how that works, but yeah, I got quite a few, messages on Twitter and whatnot. Was like, what is this shit, man? Come on, what are you doing?
Yeah,
but whatever. It is what it is, man.
Maybe you'll be
I'm not buying the video game. What's that?
Maybe they'll make you a downloadable character, like in an expansion pack, a downloadable coach.
Yeah.
I'm gonna demand.
Yeah, I'd like to see Clayton and everybody on there too, man. Keep the team. It's a Team Darkside. We really branded that, and I thought as a team we did something special that season. So for them to kind of just brush over all that and just arbitrarily make it however they wanted to, yeah, I took a little offense to it, but whatever.
Yep, they're trying to erase history like you were Tito Ortiz. It's ridiculous, people. You know what? Last question. Sorry, Coach. I think it was actually related to your likeness. It's another ridiculous question. But right before we called you, we were like, hey, Jake was, Stone Cold Jake was throwing down some Stone Cold audio drops. And we were like, hey, will not. We should make, if there were a movie, Coach Huey could play Stone Cold Steve Austin in a movie. Is that something you would ever do?
What?
Yeah, I don't quite have the physique like Stone Cold. I'm not a real big guy like that, but I could definitely throw a couple beers down with the best of them. So,
and that's the bottom line.
Oh, Jesus. Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm sorry, I have to reference him in every podcast now.
What?
That's the bottom line.
What?
Coach, again, thanks for your time here. We will let you go, but as always, where can people contact you, follow you, and see what's going on next?
Well, I'll be back. I'll be here in Oregon for the next probably 3 weeks. So anybody wants to get together for private boxing lessons or whatnot in the Portland area, get a hold of me on Twitter at Coach Jamie Huey. You can visit my website, www.coachjamiehuey.com, or Instagram is also at Coach Jamie Huey. And then after about 3 weeks, I'm headed back down to Las Vegas, where I'll also be available for privates. I'm kind of helping out over at the Extreme Couture Jam, And then I've got Keith Berry, Bellator fighter that I'm taking over to Johnny Toko's. And then I got with my old boxing guy, Willie Briscoe Ray, who has this guy's just had some of the greatest fighters out of the Northwest come out of his gym, but he's actually moving down to Las Vegas. He's considerably older. I think he's mid-70s. He's moving down to Las Vegas in the next 3-4 months, and he's working out of Richard Steele's gym over there. So I was excited to kind of reconnect with Willie and maybe talk some ideas. So, you know, there's some things going on in Vegas, man. I'm almost really, I love the MMA stuff. I'm always going to be a part of it. But if I could kind of jump back into some boxing as well while I'm down there, that would be exciting. Just because aside from the amateur program that we have up here, kind of dabbled in it the last few years, but not quite to the level that I'd like to. So I'm excited, man. Living down in Vegas is going to be a new adventure for me. So anybody listening down in Vegas want to get a hold of me, hit me up on Twitter, and definitely you can go from there. And I'll also be available at the UFC Fan Expo. So if anybody sees me down there, please come up and shake hands, say hi. I'd love to meet everybody.
Hell yeah, we'll definitely send our people down there your way at the expo. We plan on having complete coverage, of course, on the Word in the Street podcast. I have moles, spies ready to go and deploy, people. But yep, definitely, Coach. Thank you for checking in with us. We'll keep watching the show, The Ultimate Fighter Brazil Season 3 wrapping up, but there's about 2 or 3 episodes more to go. Who's going to win?
Last week was an awesome one. Maybe I don't want to spoil it if you didn't see it, but we got some killers on our team.
Yeah, actually, it's all right by now, it's Tuesday. If you haven't seen it by now, you don't care that much about it. But yeah, Team Sonnen took it home once again with a quick chokeout, is what I remember, correct?
Warley Alves is a beast, bro. You have no idea. This guy is gritty as they make him. This kid is as hungry as anybody I've ever worked with in my life. This kid goes out there and he performs, and you can put him in there with somebody better, but you won't put him in there with somebody that'll beat him, because this guy is really gritty, man. He comes to win. And then obviously, we lost a close fight. Pizzone got caught, and Pizzone's really a stud too, man. But Antonio Sabato is no joke. And then up next, I believe Lioto and Demente. And then Vitor Miranda and Rick Monster. So next Sunday is going to be a great episode as well.
Damn. We'll find out. But I'm not sure what the match count, what the score is between Team Sun and Team Vander.
Tied up, brother. It's tied up right now. It is. It's a great season. That we lost 4 in a row. We came back, won 4 in a row, and then we went 1 for 1. So the season is tied right now.
Nice.
As of right now, we have Warley Alves in the finals. They have Antonio Sabato in the finals, and then it's going to come down to Vitor and Rick will fight for a spot, and Lioto and Demente. So it's tied. It's a tied ball game.
Excellent. And I honestly have no idea who's going to win, but I have my suspicions, and I'm pulling for Team Sonnen once again, as always. Coach, hell yeah, as Stone Cold Steve Austin would say to you. Can't wait to talk to you next week, hopefully. Thanks for hooking us up with Bomba, dude. He was awesome. And tomorrow, man, say hi to everybody at the gym there, even that Uriah. He's got to come back on and beat Kelvin's streak.
I will. I'll put him on. In fact, I was with him last night. We went and saw Captain America, great movie. Get a chance to see it. We had the whole movie theater to ourselves, too. That was pretty cool.
GSP's one line.
I've actually got a very a special guest that I will announce to you guys when the show's over. Everybody else is just gonna have to wait till we announce it. But I got a somebody coming up next Tuesday. It's going to be a great podcast as well. So.
Oh, hell yeah. I have no idea who, so I can't wait, man. There you go, people. He ends with a cliffhanger. Hell yeah, Coach. Shit, man. That's how you do it on this podcast.
There you go. I'm trying to be like Game of Thrones season 2.
That's right, man. You can follow him at Coach Jamie Huey on Twitter to find out who the next guest is going to be. It'll be revealed shortly, people. I can't wait myself. But yeah, man, Coach Jamie, thank you very much for coming on tonight, man. As always.
Anytime, guys. Great to be on.
Yep. Well, you have yourself a good night, man. We'll talk soon.
All right, guys.
Later. There he goes. Coach Jamie, the living legend Huey, team son and coach. MMA trainer. Award-winning author. Best-selling author, excuse me.
Just go ahead and throw it out there. He's
inventor.
A god.
There are some rumors about that. It saved countless people's lives, mine included. Anyway, apologies to Yao, the truth. Apparently he was trying to tweet in a question for Bomba, but of course I didn't see it.
Bum status.
I'm sitting here, just trying to translate in Portuguese or something, even though Bomba was great, his English was excellent, but his question was...
He's blowing up my iPhone like, hey, is Ramsey's going to ask? Like, I don't know, dude. Chill.
He's going crazy. I didn't see it, man. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Is it true that you have now dropped Yao from your sponsorship of your show?
No, but here's the thing with Yao, man. Here's what's going on. His question for Bomba was, what advice do you have for fighters who want to fight in the Ultimate Fighter tournament like him? Valid question. I should have asked it, but I didn't see it, Yao. But yeah, Alan, the thing is, I'm worried about Yao. As we revealed 2 episodes ago, Yao got shot 2 episodes ago by accident. He got shot. Ross doesn't know how to handle a gun.
Shut the fuck up! And why don't you just introduce me before you insult me, Dad?
We'll get to that in just 1 second, but I want to say you did fumble the gun. You shot Yao. So for the past 2 weeks, Yao's been laid up. He's been on painkillers. I think he has a problem now. And so, he's sitting there tweeting and he's like, what's going on? You're not ignoring me. You're not asking my questions. And it seems like he's strung out from the capitalization on the tweet. So I'm worried about him. I think he's got a problem with these pain pills, but we'll get to that in a future podcast.
Don't worry. I'm going to put him down in July.
Damn right. And that is, for anybody still listening, Officer Allen speaking, going to rematch Yao, my sponsored fighter. The rematch is going down. Fight week, Expo week that we were just talking about. We might even have Coach Huey ref the damn rematch. Rematch of the century. We'll get to that a little bit later. Also on is Jake from the MMA podcast still. And you just heard of my bastard son and current trivia champion on the word in the street, Ross Finkelstein.
Really quick.
You forgot it.
Really quick, I got to do 2 things. I got to drop a Stone Cold drop.
I will knock your ass out.
And also, I got to pump the show tomorrow night. We got Tim Kennedy on, people. So tune in, 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern, the MMA Podcast 91. Tim Kennedy. I'm not going to lie, we recorded the interview today. It was very good. You'll want to listen to it.
Yeah, actually, give us a little teaser here. And for anybody that has no idea what you're even talking about, Jake has his own podcast, the MMA Podcast. So tomorrow night, what time you're having Tim Kennedy on? Give us a teaser.
Tomorrow night, follow us on Twitter for the live link. On Twitter, we're the MMA Podcast, 9 p.m. Pacific. Like I said, we actually recorded the interview today, and Tim and I talked about a lot of stuff. We talked about everything from a possible move in the future to welterweight to the zombie apocalypse. It was real good.
Excellent. And we do have a caller coming to the Word in the Street Podcast live on the air with us right now. Caller.
Oh, God.
I don't know who this is.
Oh, my God.
What do you hear? What do you say? Who is this?
Don't even bother.
Hello, caller. You're on right now. Well, I guess they got nothing to say. I don't know.
It was a giant troll because the caller was Yao, the Troll King.
Oh, really?
You see, Yao's not talking because
so pilled up.
I shot him. I shot Yao, and now he can't talk because he can't move. He's laid up in a hospital bed, and I guess he just dialed the number somehow.
Yep.
But Yao, I know you're listening. I know you can hear it.
He's in some sort
and
of
I just want you to know. I just want you to know the same thing that I did to Ramses and the same thing that I did to Jake. If you do get better, I will do the same thing to you.
My God. Who knows? Maybe he accidentally hit dial on his phone in the drug-induced stupor from the painkillers addiction.
Yeah, we all know he's pilled up.
Yeah, this is all alleged. Who knows if he's just drooling out the corner of his mouth right now and somehow thinking he's on a podcast.
He was doing that even before he was taking the pills.
You never know, man. But yeah, we'll figure this out, man. I don't know what's going to happen, but you got to get yourself right for this rematch. There's a lot of money coming in. A lot of money coming in on you, all right? Do the right thing.
Might want to place those bets in the right spot, Mr. Ramses.
That's right, Officer Allen. And speaking of officers and of police brutality, let's actually talk about some MMA news topics here. The breaking news last night is, of course, that MMA legend, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu master Renzo Gracie was arrested by the New York police outside of the club for allegedly getting into some sort of he was charged with assault, and apparently he got in some sort of altercation with a bouncer at a trendy nightclub in New York, and he was arrested. Renzo was arrested along with 2 or 3 other of his homies, his crew. Another Gracie, I believe. They were charging him at first with gang assault. And maybe, Officer Allen, you can explain to us what the difference is between gang assault and misdemeanor assault. How much, Renzo already free, made bail, but how much trouble is he in, man? What's the difference between these 2 charges? And just going off of the news, what do you think more than likely happened, since you are an officer of the law yourself?
Hello.
Hold on.
What the hell? What in the name of Jesus Christ?
He's gonna pop up ads on those Asian porn sites.
My God.
Actually, it's on eBay. Goddamn eBay. But to be honest, man, I wasn't there, and I don't know Renzo personally, so it's really hard for me to tell.
Right.
But when you get hit with an assault charge, the kind of like damning thing is A, the injuries to the victim, and then B, any witnesses that you didn't, dispose of. And, apparently there's a couple of witnesses that are saying, that it was like 5-on-1. And, that's really like the damning evidence.
Shit.
That's, possibly going to put the nail in the coffin. That, him being with, multiple people and then jumping on the one security guard, allegedly, they're going to charge him with felony assault. It's not just going to be a misdemeanor, especially since he had a broken nose. What they're going to argue is that it was an aggravated battery because it was, serious injury, or like if you incur like a scar or a broken bone or anything that could be like permanent or damaging, they consider it as an aggravated battery. So it's not just a battery, it's an aggravated battery, which makes it a felony. So, I mean, I think in Louisiana, like, it carries from, 5 to 12 years for aggravated battery and the, typical fine or whatever. But I'm not sure with New York's laws. I don't, I'm not familiar with them. I'd have to look it up and, look at it at a later time.
So this bouncer, the word on the street is that, what was he? He got a broken elbow, broken arm, and everybody's saying it was Renzo that did the deed.
They were saying he was in full mount beating on this dude.
Yeah, there's little camera footage. I guess a few seconds after it went down, someone busted out the old World Star Hip Hop camera phone. And Renzo's just chilling there, man, in a nice blue shirt, looking respectable. The cops show up, start talking to him. It's bad that it's a bouncer. But I believe that Renzo did release a statement saying that this shit was all some kind of misunderstanding, is what he said to Ariel Hawaii, apparently. He said it was a misunderstanding. And you know what? I'm going to give Renzo the benefit of the doubt. I do believe him. You want to know why? Because I know for a fact that Renzo Gracie is a good, solid human being and man. So I will give him the benefit of the doubt. This probably is. I bet this story ain't all. It ain't all black and white. I bet there's a lot of gray area, and maybe. Well, Renzo's gonna tell the story. He said it would all come out, but you know what? At times like these, when you're hearing Renzo's, at the club getting in fights like he was Kanye West, a lot of people's knee-jerk reaction is gonna be to look down on the Renzo Gracie. They're gonna think, oh, maybe this guy is, he's out of his mind. We heard the story about Hoyce, trying to beef with Eddie Bravo or something. Maybe all these Gracies. No, people. Renzo's a different. He's a good human being. I know that, but someone who knows it even better than me, I'll have him briefly tell his story right now. Since this news is breaking, I have to bring on my co-host, friend of the show, friend of mine, the Ninja himself. People, he has a personal story, and we're not going to take up too much time. We're going to take up a minute or two just to briefly explain it to you. Ninja, hopefully you're still there.
I am.
I want you to tell everybody listening here, of course, briefly. There's no reason, there ain't no reason to turn this into a Tito Ortiz victory speech. But Renzo got arrested for assault. But of course, there's always two sides to every story. You have a story. Renzo personally. A couple months ago, you disappeared from the show. Stop podcasting, stop guesting on the show, calling in. Everybody's worried about you. Nobody knew what happened. And then on one day, you just come clean and you admit that you were about to, you were depressed, you were in a bad spot. I see a tweet come out from you one day saying you were about to take your life, but something changed that. And I hate to sum up that story, but what happened that day? Honestly, and how did your life change? What did Renzo Gracie have to do with it?
Well, first of all, before I get to that, I spoke with Renzo this morning. I'm not allowed to. He asked me kindly not to get into any details about anything.
Yeah.
The only thing that I asked him is just to make sure that he's okay. He confirmed that, yes, he is okay. So we kind of left it as that right there. Everything will be fine, I am sure, for Renzo. Now on to the story. Without getting into too much detail, because it's a very sad story, and I don't want to do that for the listeners here. So it was February 3rd or 4th, the day after the Super Bowl. That's how I remember it. I had found out people I was living with were kicking me out, and due to my mental status and physical stuff, I really can't live on the street. So something that's haunted me for many, many years. This was my 7th attempt at suicide, to be completely honest with everybody.
Yeah.
And it stems from a long history of certain things that we'll get into on another podcast, I'm sure. So basically the story goes is, I distinctly remember sitting on the edge of my bed and just kind of hyping myself up. I'm sorry, I might get a little emotional telling this, but
yeah, no problem. Just sum it up. No problem, man. Be real.
Just to let the people know how close I really was. The Twitter app that I was using at the time had a tweet scheduler on it, and the actual tweet that I had scheduled to go out was to all of you, my friends, my family, everybody on Twitter. The actual tweet said, at this moment in time, I took my own life. I'm sorry to all of you that have supported me and that were friends. I'll be watching down from you. I'll be watching down on you from time to time, and please don't tell Shale. And that was the actual tweet that was going to go out. I had put out a tweet to Shale and Renzo, both good friends, basically because I wanted to say, tell them how much I loved them, and how much they meant to me, and kind of as my goodbye. That was going to be my goodbye. I sent a message to Renzo that read, and I quote, "Hey Renzo, are you still awake?" This was about 1 o'clock in the morning, my time here on the Pacific Coast. So I'm sitting there on the edge of the bed. I got my shoes on, literally gun in hand, guns up to my head, and not to make light of that, but again, that those details are a little hard to swallow, and
hey man, you were seconds away from taking your own life,
and nobody will ever know exactly how close I really was, and that's just something between me and God, if you believe in that, or but nobody will ever really know how close I was. And as I was sitting there, hyping myself up and pretty much getting ready to do the deed, my phone vibrates, as it has done many times on this show. And it's Renzo. And I will read you the actual text, or the actual Twitter message Renzo sent me in reply to, "Renzo, are you still awake?" And he wrote, "Like my life still depends on it." Now, I don't know what any of you believe in, but holy crap. When somebody, he could have wrote a bazillion things. And so that hit me. That went, whoa, okay. So I'm going to let Renzo know what's going on. So I DM'd him, hey, the gun's literally to my head. Do you have anything for me? Anything at all? I get a message not a minute later. Give me your phone number. So, it's Renzo Gracie. So when Renzo Gracie wants your phone number, you're going to give Renzo Gracie your phone number.
Damn right.
I give him my phone number, and again, not another minute later, my phone's ringing. From Abu Dhabi was where Renzo was at the time.
God, halfway across the world.
Halfway across the world, Renzo Gracie actually calls me, takes the time out of his life to call me. And what he proceeded to tell me didn't get filtered through my mind, which obviously was not in the right spot at the time. It went straight to the soul. I can get into more details about it the other day. But the one thing that really stuck out is he says, this life is to build your spirit for whatever comes next, whatever anybody believes in. Whatever you believe comes after this life. This life is to build a spirit. And he said to me, you have the audacity to quit not even halfway through. And he said, that's not smart. That's not smart, man. And that really got to me. I don't know what anybody else believes in again, but that really got to me. Like I have the balls to do this, at the age of 30. And another thing he had said to me was, do you realize what's going to happen if you actually continue with this? You continue thinking like this, you're going to end up dead, which at the time, yes, that was my goal. Or you're going to end up in mental institutions. Does that sound like a good life to you? And man, when Renzo said something like that to you, you really can't. When Renzo speaks, I always say when Renzo speaks, you listen, and that's the only thing you can do. And I listened. I spent the next 3 days in a mental asylum. Again, I'll go into that on another day, my experiences there. But afterwards, I was still in the same boat. I had no place to go, no place to live. Renzo sent me an undisclosed amount of money that put me in the apartment that I'm living in right now.
Holy
He
shit.
got me on a... What's that?
So let me get this straight. You were just some dude. As far as he knows, you're just a guy on Twitter. But you follow him, you practice some jujitsu. You're a guy on Twitter to him. He doesn't know you from Adam. You tell him you need some help. You tell him I've got the gun to my head. You're seconds away. He actually not only takes time to respond to you, he drops everything, calls you from Abu Dhabi, saves your life, inspires you. You, instead of killing yourself, you do the right thing, check yourself in, get some help, and then he comes, and then you come out, and he's not done with the helping yet. Not only did he save your life, he helps you out and donates to you financially. Can continue. Yep. It's just unbelievable the amount of generosity from this man.
Absolutely. And a copy of the check is literally on my wall right now as a memory of and it's not the money. It's not the it's not the fact that he's, Renzo Gracie. It is in the sense that Renzo Gracie believed in me. And that, not getting into my past, again, I could talk for hours about that, but that's something that I have never done before. I've never believed in myself, and here's Renzo Gracie, and he has faith in me, a nobody. And at the time, I was feeling really like a nobody. Like I didn't really have a friend in the world. And Renzo puts all this faith into me. And to continue with what Renzo's done, he's paying for my jiu-jitsu, which, let me tell you, Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, not just because I'm a part of the family now, and I'll get to that in a minute, Gracie Jiu-Jitsu is a life changer. I can sell Gracie Jiu-Jitsu to anybody all day long. It'll change your life if you let it. It's an amazing thing, and that's all I've got to say about that. The guys that I train with here are awesome. Gary, great. Shout out to him. Shout out to the Charles Gracie team here in Carson City, Nevada. Great guys. But anyway, Renzo's paying for that. I get to do this for the rest of my life. And Renzo has given me not only the money, not only the second chance at life, he's given me a direction, something else. If you see a pattern here, something else that I'd lacked. He's given me a direction. Now, my goal in life is to live till I'm 100 years old, 100 years old, and I'm going to become a master at Gracie Jiu-Jitsu and spend the next 70 years of my life teaching people what Renzo has taught me. So now I have a place to live. I have a great life. I have jiu-jitsu, and now I have a goal. Now I have something that I cannot quit on, some direction to go in. And a lot of people have asked me about this. Currently, Jake from the MMA podcast, God bless his soul, has a donation to where everybody could donate to help me pay to change my last name to Gracie. And that's something that really means a lot to me. That's another story in of itself. However,
I'll actually help you out a little bit there, man. Yes, yeah, now that the Ninja, like Renzo Gracie, saved this man, who we're referring to as the Ninja, but he saved this man from not only death, also homelessness, and now he's helping him train jiu-jitsu, get his life back in order, pointed in the right direction. So yes, the Ninja does want to actually. This is real. This is happening, people. We're not making this up. This is a true story, just to show you what a good guy Renzo Gracie is, in light of the recent story. But yes, there is a fundraiser that Jake from the MMA podcast put together, and that we're all getting behind here. It's a small fundraiser. The goal is $200 to help the Ninja legally change his last name to Gracie, out of respect, a token of honor, just to repay the man in some way, and just it's a nod to the man and his name and his family, and it's a sign of respect here that Ninja's going for, legally changing his last name for real to Gracie. And all it's going to take, we looked up the laws here, it's just a matter of a $200 goal. So far, we've collected $45. Just go to fundanything.com, and search the Gracie Ninja. But I'll tweet out the link. I'll tweet it out later.
And also, shout out to our boy Conley Razor, threw in a very, very generous donation. Follow him on Twitter. I believe it's just as simple, Conley Razor. That man is a badass.
And Ninja's
a very big thank you from me to him. Thank you so much.
Yep, all we need is 155 more to go, and then the Ninja will legally change his last name to Gracie. And for anybody that's like, what? But I should add, and I hope I'm not overstepping the lines here, Ninja. There's a reason that you're willing to change your last name, and drop the one you have currently. Correct?
Absolutely. Shortly, my mom gave me the name I have now of Larson, Larsen, to basically hide from my father when I was a child. So it's not like I come from a huge line, a huge family of Larsons. I don't have grandparents that their name's not Larson. It's just a name that she picked to hide me from my very abusive father. So it doesn't mean anything to me. And Renzo, and then I get asked about this a lot. Because I told Renzo I wanted to change my name, not to pretend I'm anything, not to pretend that I'm a Gracie, not to start speaking Brazilian and open a school and I'm a descendant from Helio Gracie, and I was there at UFC 1. No, that's not what this is about. But Renzo, again, the great man that he is, I cannot specify that enough. Since then, Renzo has given me the greatest gift any man, more than money, more than jiu-jitsu, more than a second life. Renzo Gracie has officially, and he's trying to drill this into my head, and if people don't believe it, that's fine. But he's really pushing this on me. He is giving me basically his family. I'm an actual part of the Gracie family. And a lot of people, we try to teach to everybody that, everybody that comes into our schools and whatnot is part of the extended Gracie family. And Renzo is very adamant that no, that I'm a part of the Gracie family as much as Hoist, Henner, Hickson, Hoyler, and Renzo himself. And that's something Renzo's very adamant about, because he knows what that's going to do for me. If I'm an actual member of the Gracie family. Now, you can't, as an actual member of the Gracie family, I'm not going to be the one that has Chris Gracie, when I legally changed my name, Chris Gracie, got arrested for DUI. Chris Gracie got arrested for this. I'm not going to be that guy. He has given me his family's honor, and I'll be damned if I waste that opportunity.
You're damn
I have
right.
a lifetime. I have 70 years to prove that I am worthy of that family, that I am a part of that family. I'm worthy, and to make every single member, my goal is to make every single member as proud to be related to me as I am of them. And that is my goal. That is my promise to each and every one of you, as it is my promise to the great Renzo Gracie. So, in light of what you're reading, in light of the news, I can assure you Renzo Gracie is, in my opinion, the greatest man that has ever, ever stepped foot on this planet. He has done more for me than anybody can expect. Shout out. Please follow Renzo Gracie, BJJ on Twitter, at Renzo Gracie, BJJ. And just give him this guy deserves, he's going to get it from me, 70 years of accolades and thanks and honor and respect. Please, from me, show your support for this man. This story should be, worldwide news. I should be on Ariel Hawaii's podcast telling this story. Because this guy deserves it. Renzo Gracie deserves to be recognized for what he's done. Please get on Twitter. Let him know that you respect him from me. Give him all the accolades. Give him a big thank you. Give him a big hug. I don't care. Show your support. He deserves it. Thank you, my brother, Renzo Gracie.
Well said. Thank you, Ninja, very much. There it is, people. True story, eyewitness, character witness. Renzo Gracie, man. One of the most generous human beings I've ever even heard of after hearing Ninja's story personally. And we've talked in length about it numerous times. It's a true story. Renzo Gracie saved my friend's life. Some dude on Twitter, but it's real now. And so don't believe the hype, Renzo Gracie, man. I'm sure it was a misunderstanding. We'll get the full story soon. But yep, arrested, charged with assault. Misdemeanor assault is what it's down to right now. Hopefully it'll get dropped.
Did you see the video that came out on it?
I did, man. The World Star hip hop angle. Yeah, like I said, man, Renzo, man, he was just taking it easy. He didn't look riled up or intoxicated, wasn't stumbling around.
Yeah.
He was wearing a nice blue shirt.
Yeah, I would play the video, but it's exactly what you would expect, just a shitload of people yelling, and the guy filming it like 10 times keeps saying, "Yo, he's famous, man.
Yeah.
He's famous. MMA."
That's all he knew, man. That's all he knew. Yeah. Yeah.
As far as that goes, like I said, I talked to Renzo this morning. I can't go into details about what we talked about. Right. But what I can say is I did teach at my class tonight. And anybody listening, I know we're all MMA fans. We got a lot of people that train jiu-jitsu. I am also former in law enforcement, a 10-year veteran of the streets. My perception, again, I wasn't there, but I do know Renzo obviously very, very, very well. This looks like lazy police work. And what I taught my guys today is a lot of cops, and this is no dig on cops anywhere.
Better not be. We got
jobs.
Officer Allen on the line.
He's fucking fully loaded.
No dig on the New York City Police Department, who I'm sure were doing their jobs. But what I taught my kids and the other guys tonight, what I talked to them about is we got to be careful as Gracie Jiu-Jitsu practitioners and as martial artists, as competitors, because this can happen to any single one of us. Any one of us, some guy can come up and just start throwing punches, to be honest with you. No words have to be exchanged. Anybody can come up to us, just start throwing punches. We're going to do what we do best, take you to the ground. If the guy doesn't give up, we can get a choke, an arm bar, leg lock, knee bar. Basically, what my
running on you. They do run-ins these days on the street.
Basically, what my message is inevitably, I have faith in what we do. We're going to be the person standing when the cops show up. And from my experience, not saying that this is what the New York police or any other police in the world do, but my experience is sometimes cops get lazy. The person that's standing up is obviously the person that won. That person goes to jail. So, like I said, anybody that does this, anybody that does Gracie Jiu-Jitsu or any combat sports, please be mindful of that, because this could happen to any one of us. And I'm sure we will hear the truth, and everybody will get to know exactly what happened very, very soon.
Yo, I don't want to butt in, but like all this stuff about police work, I really want to hear the story of what happened to Alan last night, because I still haven't heard the full fucking story.
The rape story. That's true.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, hopefully Officer Allen is with us right now. Sometimes when Officer Allen patrols, there's a glitch on his phone or something. His iPhone just randomly calls and dials us on Skype, and just pocket dials us, and we get to hear some of his patrols live on Skype. And last night there was a hell of a one. What was going on with this rapist, man? What's the word in the street, Officer Allen?
I wouldn't say it was really the word on the street, because it was more like the word in the ditch.
Oh no.
Yeah. So
Oh my
about
god.
I guess about 1:00. I don't even remember what time we got the call. Some lady calls in, says that she can hear a lady screaming on the side of her house, and the woman's screaming out for help, saying stop, and said that it went on for a little while, and so they dispatch us. We go en route, man, and it's a pretty sketchy part of town where a lot of prostitution and stuff goes on. And so when we pull up, the first thing that I see is two people doggy style, the guy behind the girl, like fucking in the ditch.
Oh no.
Just going at it like animals, man.
Was this your first call for a ditch rape?
What?
Oh no, it wasn't, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But when I got out of my car, my first reaction, I actually started laughing, because I thought it was some prostitute getting raped. Yeah. And she didn't know why we're laughing. She didn't seem like she was in any type of distress. It's not like she was beat up.
It looked like a work, right?
Exactly. It just looked like, and it's not the first time I've called two people in the ditch fucking before, like horses.
Happens all the time.
So, we run up to them or whatever, and they start scrambling to put their clothes on. And all of a sudden, the woman starts saying, "He raping me! He raping me!"
Uh-oh.
And, from that point, the guy, he didn't even have a chance to pull his pants up. We fucking, we laid down the law.
He went pants down.
He went face down in the dirt, penis in a ant nest, and
Damn.
Justice got served.
Hell yeah, man. They're raping everybody out there, man. I'm glad you were there to put a stop to it, man. But then again, I gotta ask, how do you know that it wasn't just a prostitute, and she was just claiming it to get out of being arrested for being a prostitute? Not that, I mean,
the things that kind of led us to believe that it was not a work was that she had no priors, and this is like a 48-year-old woman with no prior arrest, no prostitution, no nothing. She lives in the area, which it would be feasible for her to be walking home from a friend's house, which is what she stated. She said that she was grabbed and dragged into the ditch, and we located her shoe halfway down the street, on the ground. And we also located her phone in the dirt right in front of where she was, bent over, because she said she tried to call the police. And also, she didn't have any condoms in her purse. She didn't have any of the, she didn't have any contraband, any type of thing that would lead us to believe that she was a prostitute. She gave a coherent statement. Nothing led us to believe that anything that she said was a lie. And the kicker on this story is that in October of last year, 2013, only, 6 to 8 months, previously, the same motherfucker had previously been arrested by myself and several other officers for the same criminal offense.
Oh God, a repeat rapist back on the streets doing it again.
Repeat rapist that was out on bond, ladies and gentlemen, on bond because they set his bond at less than $10,000. So, just the Louisiana justice system, the fucking judges, there's no accountability. They do whatever they want. They're pieces of shit. Yep. And it's terrible. But he's locked up. He's not going anywhere.
Fucking rapists, man. They're everywhere.
One more for the bad guys.
Yep, they let them go, man. They don't. I mean, yeah, even I was laughing, but nobody takes rape seriously anymore. I was only laughing because of the comical manner in which this arrest took place. It did have a happy ending. This guy ends up being arrested. Hopefully they'll put him away for another 2 months. And hopefully, next time Alan will be there again for the next rape. So thank you on behalf of the community, everybody. Officer Allen, man, he's doing what he has to do, man. It's a jungle. It really is. It's sick. It is disgusting.
It's literally a jungle with gorillas and apes, monkeys.
Animals, people.
Fuck yeah.
You're the one who asked, Jake. You wanted this.
No. I actually was going to say, I don't want to hijack your show, but we're talking about a jungle. That's another great transition to another news topic of the week.
You're right, man. Well, shit, I was going to bring up another crime story that took place.
Yeah, exactly. I'm talking about the same thing.
Which we touched on. I asked Bomba about it being from Brazil, but Shogun got robbed and humiliated at gunpoint in Brazil. They took his car, his clothes, his Rolex, his cell phone. They left him out in the middle of the highway or something. He had to walk reportedly for a mile, maybe even 2. All right, that's him. Nobody should have to go through that, man. But yeah, Shogun Huey robbed at gunpoint in Brazil. Hopefully there was a clip. They told Nick Diaz about it. They got his reaction. We'll play a clip of what he had to say about Shogun getting robbed and shit. But this is pretty fucked up, man. I suspect it happens all the time in Brazil, though. Jake, man, what do you think about Shogun, man? We could have easily seen him get blasted. That could have been the new Shogun who robbed and murdered, shot to death. He was not. But what do you think, man? This happened to a goddamn legend here, man. Sad story. Do we have the Nick Diaz clip? He had some good thoughts.
Yeah. Let me cue up the Diaz clip. I think Diaz has a better take on it than any of us will, so I'll cue up the Diaz quote, and then I'll let you know what I think. Here is UFC welterweight, or I don't know, can we still call him a UFC welterweight even though he hasn't fought in forever? Whatever, UFC welterweight Nick Diaz on Mauricio Shogun Huey being robbed at shotgun point in Brazil. Here we go.
Right, he got robbed in Brazil, gunpoint. They stripped him butt naked. Actually, he was wearing his boxers. That's fucked up. And he walked a mile.
Hey, that's in Brazil though. If we were here, you probably have to shoot me.
Really?
Oh, you gonna kill me? Take your clothes off, bitch. I'm like, you better slap me till I cry or something.
So these 4
you
guys.
ever seen that movie, Touristas?
Yeah, you love movies.
Where they take that guy and then give him slaps.
Yeah.
Wow. And then he's like, starts crying. After a while, he starts crying. So, I figure, this is the kind of scenario he was in. So I'm like, hey, you might as well shoot me, or you better start slapping me until I feel like taking my fucking clothes off.
So pretty much, yeah, exactly. So pretty much nobody can rob you.
I'm not hating. It's fucked up. I know he's on some real shit. No, they do. They put a gun to your forehead and they'll rob you.
But in Brazil, it's okay.
No, they put a gun and they rob you to your face like that.
Yeah, so you're not gonna go to Brazil anytime soon.
Yeah, you don't know about that life. Hey, they'll rob you.
Yeah, right.
No, I don't go. That's why. If it was like, why you never do stuff? I won't go to Mexico. I don't go to Brazil. Hey, I hear too much stories. It's all good. Hey, but I get around. I see plenty. I move. I try. What do you call it? I fight. So they have me going here. They have me going there. So
people might want to test you as well because they know you.
Jake, what do you think, man? They're raping people in ditches and they're shooting up Shogun. What's happening?
I mean, he does make a good point in that Brazil is a completely different animal than the United States. But the biggest question on my mind listening to that was how many adult beverages had Nick Diaz had before that fucking interview, man? Oh, he was slurring like a motherfucker.
He sounded like it was the 12th round and he wasn't a good boxer.
No, dude. I plan on being that fucked up for a majority of the trip in Vegas. So I'm not judging Nick, but even though he was slurring a little bit, he actually did make a lot of coherent points. It's fucking Brazil, man. It is a totally different world over there. I mean, my parents live in Costa Rica. And they were robbed 2 weeks ago. Their house was broken into. Luckily, thank God, my mom fucking slams the bathroom door at like 1:30. Here's like a little bit of like a ruffling in the living room. Figures that like she may have knocked a picture off the wall or something because she slammed the door pretty hard. Didn't think twice. Next day they wake up, all their shit's taken. Thank God, they're fine. But man, a lot of these countries, even Costa Rica, which in comparison to a lot of other Latin American countries is good crime wise. Fuck, you see a lot of this down there, man.
Jake, do me a favor and pull up the recent episode of the Tommy Toehold Triple THS, and we'll get some real insight as to what happened. Can you do that for me?
Taking over the damn show. Hell yeah, Ninja. The Showbane returns.
Exactly.
Ramses, shall I play Showbane returns?
All right, but of course, if it's an 8-minute long episode, of course, we gotta do what we gotta do here.
It's 2 minutes and 54 seconds.
I'll smoke some weed. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's fucking light it up. You know what? I am even gonna unmute. Let the goddamn people listen to me inhale legal drugs. Showbane returns. Let's do it, Tommy Toehold. We got the little disclaimer.
We've had him on the show before. I interviewed him.
Yeah. We actually talked both to Tommy and Tommy's creator and our co-host, Jamie Huey, actually the creator of Tommy's evil nemesis, Tony Thumpoke. A little bit of insight into the Tommy Toehold show. He's a damn part of the family. Let's listen to the damn podcast or the damn show, whatever it is.
Yeah, a lot of visual elements to that.
That's really what happened. That's the truth. He interviewed Shogun.
He is the best MMA Shogun journalist out there.
Shout out to Tommy Toehold. Gotta love him.
His ethics, his reputation, his honesty in journalism, getting to the meat of a story, avoiding the fat. Tommy Toehold is one of the best, man. Yeah, look up the interview we did with him. It was an honor, it was a privilege, and glad to even feature his stuff, his material on my show without permission. I'm sure he wouldn't mind. We'd love you, Tommy Takedown. Moving on, we do have some other topics to address here in the MMA world. We did Shogun robbed and humiliated. Oh, that's right. Today, the embargo lifted on media reviews on the new UFC game, people. It's coming out. UFC, done by EA Sports once again. It's getting ready to debut in about 28 days, something like that. It's coming out. I bought a PS4. I know Jake did too. I'm ready for it. Today they.
I'm ready to beat Ramsey's ass, and that's the bottom line.
Yeah, definitely. There's going to be some a lot of live streaming going on here from the Word on the Street podcast when the game does launch. I'm going to play it nonstop, a marathon, and I'm going to live stream it all to you on the internet. But stay tuned for that. I'm going to whoop ass, people. Online, in game, it don't matter. It's going to happen. But today we saw a full round of gameplay released by EA, showing the new game. Open mic, people. Did anybody see this shit? What do you guys think? Who's getting it when it launches? What did you guys think of the gameplay, man? Honestly, man, I watched it a few times in HD. Open mic.
I need to start the Get Ninja and Xbox One fund right now, and I would like to do that. If anybody wants to donate to that one too, I know we got a lot of charities we're donating to, but yeah.
First it's the Gracie Ninja fundraiser, and then it's the Buy Jake, a prostitute in Las Vegas fundraiser, and then we're getting to the Ninja and Xbox One fundraiser, even though you should get a PS4 to take on Ramses and myself.
We got a priority, man.
Literally, the only reason I got a PS4 was so I could play the UFC game when it comes out.
Hell yeah, and I challenge you, Jake, man. And yeah, we also got to do the fundraiser to pay for Yao's rehab coming up here soon off of these painkillers. But yeah, no, the EFC, Jesus Christ, the EA UFC gameplay footage that was released, gentlemen. Who watched it? Am I the only one that gives a shit?
I didn't watch it.
It was good.
I didn't watch it, but you have to watch the part where they go into Bruce Lee being in the game. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That's the only reason that I would spend $500 to buy an Xbox One, to spend $60 more and buy this game, is so I can whoop the UFC's ass, namely John Jones, with Bruce fucking Lee. That's badass.
You know what's gay, though?
What's that, man?
The fact that I can't play any of my favorite fighters because none of the goddamn Korean fighters are probably going to be in the game, but they put a fucking dead Chinese man who would have got his ass whipped by every single Korean on the goddamn UFC roster.
Yep.
Fuck you, Bruce Lee.
Alan, you do bring up a couple interesting points because the roster, I've been hearing a lot. The roster is like, come on, like we heard last year, which I don't want to get too into this video game because I'm way more into talking about MMA than I am MMA video games. But if we're gonna talk about it, let's look at a few things. The first thing, UFC 174 is June 14th. 3 days later, this EA Sports game is released. What's funny is the roster is so bare, you're not going to be able to simulate any fight from UFC 173, because in every single fight, there's a fighter who's just not in the game. They don't have Ali Bagatinov, who's fighting for the flyweight title. They have Pascal Kraus in the game, but they don't have Tyron Woodley somehow. The next two UFC title contenders, Dillashaw and, like I said before, Bagatinov, absent. I don't know. I am, the guy fighting for the flyweight championship in June. I'm super pumped it's coming out, but I would have rather had them sit on it a little bit longer, maybe bolster up the roster some, because it's sad 3 days after UFC 174, it's coming out, and you can't play any of the fights from 174 because they don't have any of the fighters.
Look,
but you
he's
get to
that guy.
be Ronda Rousey though.
Yeah, or Misha.
That's worth the $60 right there. Is just to beat people up Ronda
my
Rousey.
Sweet Misha. Those scissor locks.
Let me cue up the buzzer sound effect. Sorry, it isn't locked and loaded.
I'm excited about this fucking game, people. It's the only reason I bought a PS4. Alan, man, you're a gamer. I've seen some pics. Your place is, you've got basically an MMA man cave. You got posters, trophies, belts, inventions, cages, video games, big screens. You got game systems. You're not moving to Xbox One or PS4. What's happening, man? This game is going to be the shit. I'm going to start my own league. I'm going to face people like Kelvin live on the PS4. Kelvin Gastelum, by the way, people. Shout out. I'm going to challenge Dana White, John Jones online. I'm going to beat them. I beat John Jones before, but unfortunately, technology didn't allow for live streaming at the time that I was aware of. But Alan, dude, man, you got to get a PS4 and join this shit, man. It's going to go crazy in a month.
The only way it happens is if I can play as Hong-Gi Lim.
These guys with the...
Or Dong Kyung Kim, who is ranked in the top 10 in the welterweight division. So there should be no reason why him being a staple of the UFC for the past, 5 years should not be in the game.
Okay, Yum Yum Kim and the Korean Zombie.
Tyron Woodley, Matt Brown.
Nobody else. As far as, Asian fighters, nobody else makes the cut. I'm sorry, Alan, dude.
Takanori Gomi is definitely going to be in the game.
Gomi.
He's still whipping the shit out of motherfuckers.
He got lucky. Who did he fight?
Bruce Lee.
Yeah, Bruce Lee's enough, man. That's all encompassing.
Yeah, because Bruce Lee used to fight in the UFC, but back in UFC, never happened. Fuck that. If I wanted to play Kung Fu Heroes, I would go get my, fucking PlayStation and go play it and use Bruce Lee and fight some other, martial artist or play some Ip Man or something like that. But I'm playing a UFC game, so I want to use UFC fighters.
I hear you, man. The Bruce Lee angle really doesn't make sense.
Fucking put Mike Tyson in the goddamn game with all the dick that they suck on Mike Tyson's. Jesus.
Bob Sapp is more deserving to be on the game.
They should put Muhammad Ali in the fucking UFC game. We should put fucking... Who else do they have a goddamn t-shirt?
Frank Dukes.
Jesus fucking Christ. Blow my goddamn head off.
That's it, Alan. You buy a PS4, you send me a PS4, I will whoop your fucking ass with Bruce Lee in the UFC game. The fight is on. You have been challenged.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna make him God mode, and you'll not even be able to defeat him.
Because it's Bruce Lee.
I heard he wasn't that good.
Bruce Lee was not that great.
I heard it was a work, dude.
Masaru Oyama would have destroyed Bruce Lee.
I heard all his fights were
God mode. He is the reason there is.
He was teaching kung fu out in the park, like Joe Rogan's always talking about. And that's when people started copying Bruce Lee, just bullshitting in the park with fake kung fu moves. That's what I heard. That was the word in the street. I get you. Let's move on, people. Two more MMA topics before we wrap this shit up. We're back. Here's the next one. I gotta ask you, people. You know I'm the Alex Jones of MMA. The Bellator pay-per-view that we witnessed on Saturday. Hopefully, I don't know how you guys saw it, but
Bellator gets my bell of approval. Bellator definitely gets the bell of approval.
You thought it was badass, but what I want to ask you, people, everybody on here, the Tito Ortiz comeback fight where he submitted Shlemenko in the first round, wherever the fuck it was. Tito's back, supposedly. Did you guys buy that for 1 second? The Bellator fight, Tito's comeback. What'd you think of his victory? Was it real? Was it fake? Was it staged? Was it Hornswoggle versus El Torito? What's the word on the street, guys? Open mic.
Yeah. Yo, I haven't heard the damn Jew in a while. What did the Jew think of Bellator?
Yeah, he's one of the Bellator fans. He's showing up there taking pictures of my girlfriend. My bastards.
What the fuck do you want, Dad? I'm just sitting here waiting and waiting and waiting to get an opportunity to talk on my own goddamn show. Didn't listen to the end of last week's podcast, then you might have missed the big announcement. You see,
oh damn it,
I'm the mystery investor, and I have 51% stake in the podcast and all of its assets.
It's true, sadly.
You are cutting in and out a little bit, Ross.
Little bit. But that is true, Ross.
What, are you trying to take me off the show? Is that what you're trying to do, Dad?
There we go. It seems like you're back now, but yes, you do control 51% of the podcast. You did invest and take control of it. Yes, it was sabotage.
And tonight at the end of the show, we're doing a battle royale to see next week who takes on the Jew for the belt.
So you staged a takeover of my podcast, but I'm asking you right now, knowing since you're the expert on staging shit, the Tito Ortiz fight in Bellator, man, did you believe that? Was that real?
Let me tell you something. If you don't think that was real, you're crazy. Think of it like this. All right. Alexander Shlemenko going into this fight was 28-2 in his last 30 fights. That is insane. You don't hear of that. The guy had a record of 50-7. Also insane. Something you really don't hear about. In Bellator, he's been on a tear. He lost one fight to Hector Lombard, and since then he's just destroyed everyone. And he's slowly rising up to become one of the faces. He is one of the faces of Bellator, and Bellator is really trying to market him. And that's a big asset when you're trying to move into different markets, like Russia. You see, the UFC was going to move into Russia. They are not going into Russia because they can't get in there because of M1 and all that shit. But Bellator, on the other hand, has signed M1 fighters and actually doesn't have a shitty relationship with M1. I mean, it's not really a relationship, but they don't hate each other. Like, the dummy doesn't hate Viacom. So Shlemenko, I completely lost where I'm going with this. I'll be honest. I'm just thinking about a real shoot. Jake. But yes, it is a real shoot. Because here's the thing. Shlemenko is one of the faces. And he's someone they could bring overseas. They could bring to Russia and market him over there. They can market him around the world. He's a marketable guy because of his style. Yes, his personality is not there, but because of his style, he's marketable in Russia, at least. So he's dominant. Why on earth would they bring a fucking guy who hasn't won a fight since, like, he beat Bader, but before that, he hasn't won a fight since 2006. The guy's won one fight since the year 2006, basically, and you're going to bring him in a work to beat your champion? What the fuck kind of logic is that? No, that would never happen in a million years, and anyone that thinks that is a fucking idiot. I'm sorry. That is the dumbest shit I have ever heard. At the end of the day, Alexander Shlemenko, a guy who is 200 pounds soaking wet going into that fight, a guy who could theoretically, at his size, make 155 pounds, fighting a guy who, going into that fight, weighed 230 pounds. There's a 30-pound weight difference, a light heavyweight, and a guy who could theoretically fight at heavyweight too. A heavyweight, possibly, was fighting a lightweight. And you're telling me that they would work that? That doesn't make any sense in the world. It would just be the stupidest thing in the world. How anyone could think that to work is the dumbest thing in the world, and that's all I gotta say.
It happened. I saw it in front of my very eyes. If you do follow me on Twitter, I was calling and predicting it the entire time that Tito Ortiz would win via work. That's exactly what happened. Yeah, because, at the end of the day, Bellator didn't burn a champion. He's still a champion at his weight class. Shlemenko, man, the bottom, you were talking about at the end of the day, let me tell you the bottom line here. Nobody's going to buy Shlemenko versus Rampage. This is all a setup. The pay-per-views, man, they want to have a good pay-per-view. And the way they're going to do that, it's been the plan for about a year now, Tito versus Rampage. Rampage versus Tito. That's what's going to happen. That is the word on the street. I predicted that when I saw it coming a mile away, too. That's what's going to happen. This fight was a work. 100% no doubt in my mind it was a setup, people. It was staged. It was an inside job. Maybe Tito doesn't even know. But Shlemenko, he was ready. The fight was a work, people. You're damn right. And that's the bottom line.
Ramses.
Yes. Yes, son.
What the fuck's wrong with you?
I'm just telling it like it is, and nobody's believing me, but hey, seeing is believing. Tito broke his neck 6 months ago, and now he's back and just dominant. Give me a break, people. But let's hear what everyone else thought about Tito's comeback fight. I really do want to hear. I want to know what these other people thought. What's happening?
Ramses, I believe you.
Damn
and
right,
that's all that matters. Because everybody's missing the actual bottom line from this, and that is the bottom dollar, the greenbacks, the money. The reason why Bellator signed Tito in the first place is because of the name Tito Ortiz. Regardless if he's lost, won, whatever. See, Bellator's market isn't for us. All of us here, the big MMA, the hardcore MMA fans that just like to see good fights. Bellator is selling to those drunk redneck, I just want to see two people punch each other and somebody's going to get knocked out. That's the market for Bellator. So they market the shit out of the two names that they have purchased. The two names that they pay ungodly amounts of money to, as reported on by Front Row Brian. They pay them more than they even made in pay-per-view buys, but that's why they have them. So why in the hell would you have Tito come in and not have him win? Because a drunk fan, the normal fan, the normal American man who just wants to have a beer and watch some good fights is going to say, hey, Tito's fighting. I remember when he fought Chuck. I remember when he fought Randy. Tito's badass. What a badass dude. He hates his bosses and he rebels against authority. And they're going to watch the Bellator pay-per-view specifically for him. And to have him lose, you can't do that. Now, you see, you got to look at this from a pro wrestling perspective. And that is all about the money and what's going to bring in that revenue.
I agree, man. And I do want to get Officer Allen and Jake's opinion on Tito Ortiz's comeback victory, miracle win, before we hit our last topic and then wrap it up with the trivia brawl. The last topic, of course, I'm just going to tease it right now. Ken Shamrock and Dana White made up. How is this possible? We'll play the infamous clip where Dana White, last we heard, Ken Shamrock owed him $175,000 and Dana White was coming for his fucking money. All right, but we'll play that in just 1 second. But let's get their takes on it. The Tito Ortiz Bellator victory comeback win out of nowhere. It's like a Hollywood movie script ending. Officer Allen and then Jake, what the fuck do you think, man? Was it a work? Yeah.
Do I think that it was a work?
Yeah, or what did you think?
It's
did you watch it? What happened?
Not really hard to work a grappling match between a 230-pound man and a 190-pound guy. I mean, there's nothing really there to work. It was what it was. It was a man that was twice the size physically as another man, and he just got manhandled in the grappling department. If it would have stayed on the feet, Tito would have got his ass whipped. But, he did the smart thing. He got the takedown. He used his body weight and just, smashed Shlemenko. And, it was what it was, what it is, what it bees. It's nothing to it. It was kind of nostalgic to see Tito Ortiz get a win. Yes, it was kind of cool. But, I think it was a terrible idea to match him up. It would have been better if they would have just thrown him in there with Christian Mapumbu or some other bum on the Bellator light heavyweight roster.
Officer Allen, now this rapist, he's in the ditch, like raping his victim. he's obviously got to be somewhat aware that what he's doing is wrong, and anybody could creep up and see what he's doing, that he's going down with rape in this ditch. You're saying he didn't notice a cop car, a policeman pull up? He was that consumed by his rape in this ditch?
What?
It's kind of hard to see the cops when their lights are turned off and they're parked around the corner, and we just drop in on him like a fucking pack of wolves.
Damn! So you guys descended like it was like a Batman style introduction.
Basically,
because we're in the middle of the act.
That's what cops are. We are Batman. We are Hellboy. What? We are the people that go bump in the night.
What? Yep. Well, yeah, man. How did this guy not notice cops approaching him as he's raping someone in a ditch? It's a sick world, people. But Jake, Tito Ortiz's comeback. What did you think? Was it a work? The fight was a work, people.
All right, Ross, you got to take some control of your show here. This is getting a little out of hand.
Maybe a little bit. Maybe
Ross gets 51% and the show goes to shit. Big surprise.
You see, I don't fucking get a chance to speak.
You're cutting in and out a shitload again.
Yep. There's
trying
the new
to cut
owner.
me off before Ramsey's.
Best microphones on the podcast now. Thanks, Ross. You're really doing a lot here with your ownership. Jesus Christ. The wheels are falling off. Yeah, I apologize, people listening still. But let's get to the last topic then. Ken Shamrock and Dana White, they make up. It's all good. But let's not forget what happened, the beef. I'll ask you guys, do you buy this angle? What's going on? What reason does Dana have to give a shit or even talk to Ken Shamrock again?
You want me to play the clip you sent me?
Hell yeah, man, because Dana White was pissed off at Ken Shamrock a few months ago, and he cut a promo on Ken about owing him some fucking money. Jake, play it whenever you're ready, man.
I don't even want to mention this guy's fucking name, but it's like Ken Shamrock burst back onto the scene. Hey everybody, I'm here to save everybody, whatever. No, you're trying to become relevant again, is what you're trying to do. Let's not forget that Ken Shamrock tried to sue us. That he said that his contract, Ken Shamrock owes me $175,000. And I'm coming for it, Ken. I'm coming for the fucking money, you piece of shit. You should have fucking stayed wherever you were, hidden under the fucking porch somewhere. The guy owes me $175,000 because him and his fucking scumbag lawyer put together some phony lawsuit that he lost. And he owes me $175,000 in attorney's fees. And he's out there talking about what he doesn't have and what guys aren't getting and all this shit. He's trying to make himself relevant again. And if anybody can't see that, you're just fucking stupid.
My God.
You're just fucking stupid.
Yep. He said, I'm coming for my fucking money, you piece of shit. That was a quote. But now apparently everything's all made good. Open mic. You guys buy that? What possible reason could this be happening? Why would Dana waste another minute of his life even talking to Ken Shamrock? What's going on here? Is this a work? What's the angle here? What's happening?
There's only one explanation, Ramses.
Yeah.
And that's Ken Shamrock got on his knees and sucked Dana White's dick.
That could be. I'm not going to rule that out. That could have happened. I don't know. I mean, maybe they want to bring Ken Shamrock back for one more fight and have him, literally get beaten into a coma in the octagon.
Have him die. It's Dana White's secret plan.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. Ken Shamrock, it might be worth burning him on a pay-per-view. Just having him get lit up. I don't know what this is all about, man. It's pretty suspicious.
Listen, after I saw, and people might not get this who don't follow professional wrestling, after I saw Bret Hart make up with Vince McMahon, anything is possible. So this very well could be true. Because I never thought in the 30 years that I've been a wrestling fan, after the Bret Hart Vince McMahon incident, I never thought that I would ever see those two in the same place again, and look what happened. So this very well could be true.
No. I've got a theory.
Let's hear it.
I know exactly what's going on.
What's the bottom line?
Tito Ortiz whipped Ken Shamrock's ass, correct? Several times.
I think so, yeah.
Yes, all 3 times. And now that Tito is in Bellator, this is Dana White's ultimate revenge on Tito Ortiz.
He's going to put Ken Shamrock over?
Yes, and he's going to bill it as, Ken Shamrock, the guy who beat Tito Ortiz's ass 3 times. He's going to completely rewrite history.
He's going to change the records themselves.
Yes. Yep. This is his ultimate revenge on Tito Ortiz.
I like this angle, man. Maybe we'll see it play out there. But yep, it is like when Vince and the Warrior made up. And of course, Vince had him killed the next time.
I was just about to say that.
But yep, that was the last MMA news topic. Nothing else is worth fucking talking about. You got a card coming up here. Really, who cares? So let's get on with it, people. The last segment of this, it is going to be as decreed by the new owner of the podcast, new controlling interest owner, Ross. I believe he's calling for a battle royale. He is not actually going to defend his title this week.
Can I make one point? Last night, Ross beat me fair and square. Beat me 3-1, actually. Fair and square last week. And you know what? I don't want to call foul play or anything, but one of the points that Ross got was the Michael Bisping point. Ramses threw out an obvious guess. We both guessed at the same time. Ramses calls on Ross first. I'm going to play the clip. I'm going to let you, the listener, decide who buzzed in first.
Before his last fight or whatever, was sporting an eye patch.
Jake,
Ross.
I got it.
Ross answered first.
Come on.
And
Michael
Ross,
the Count Bisping.
And I'll play that little clip a few more times for you, just in case you weren't able to hear people. Jake.
Ross.
Jake.
Ross.
Jake.
Ross.
Jake.
Ross.
Holy shit.
Ross was awarded the point, and Ross is now the champion.
You're playing damning evidence here.
Look, I know he's your boy, Ramses. I know he is your boy, and even though you guys feud all the time, I know you still love him, and I know you were trying to put him over by all means.
I mean, listening to the replay, it's hard to argue with that. It does sound like you did buzz in by saying your name first before Ross. It does sound like that. I have to declare a scandal here, people.
I don't give a damn. I don't want a rematch. I'm going to win the Battle Royale fair and square. Next week, I'm going to take what belongs to me.
We will have the Battle Royale here. It is going to go underway in just a moment. But yeah, man, that scandal, dude. I'm sorry, Jake. I mean, this is worse than the time Hulk Hogan got screwed against Andre the Giant by the twin referees. That's when Hogan was so shocked. He came out with his best promo ever of all time. I tweeted it out last night. God bless, brothers. So let's get it going. But Ross, so you're not competing this week? You're not defending your title? You're just gonna run a battle royale, huh? Is that the bottom line here? Is that what you're telling me?
I'll tell you what. Jake, you want to try and call me out? You want to try and bring out a fight? Here I am. I'm ready to fight. I'll fight you tonight. I'll defend the Word on the Street Podcast Championship tonight, if you want, in a rematch. I'll defend it against every single person here, actually.
I don't want to beat up a Jew on Passover.
Damn.
Dude, Passover was like 2 months ago.
Not according to my book.
Late. The only thing I will pass over is you. When I'm beating you. If you...
Oh, you're cutting in and out again, Ross. What the fuck?
Mike Trump.
You guys are trying to take me off the show, aren't you? You just want me down because I have the controlling stake. Isn't that it? Because I'm not the producer. I just have the controlling stake.
That might be.
That's exactly what's going on. There's another conspiracy, and I think we need to point that one out. There's another scandal here.
It might be.
Jake, I'll either defend against you, I'll defend against everyone here, or I can pick a couple fighters and watch you lose.
I want the battle royale. I want you next week, Jew.
Yeah.
Sorry for dropping a hard J there, audience.
Yep, it's getting real now. Battle royale it is.
And just for anyone listening, they don't know what the fuck's going on. Trivia game. The host throws out a bunch of clues on who the fighter is. When we think we know who it is, we buzz in with our name. If we guess incorrectly, that person is not allowed to guess again until 2 more clues have been thrown out there. I think I'm leaving something out. Oh, yeah, and because there's, I think, going to be 4 of us in this battle royale. I'm not playing everyone's music. The winner gets his music. That's it. I'm ready to do this damn thing.
3 points to win. Let's go. I'm ready to. I'm in this match like Vince McMahon.
The Vince McMahon that's about to lose his company.
Ross the bastard son like Hornswoggle.
Zing.
You guys are ready?
I'm ready. Let's do this shit, as Tommy Tohold would say.
Just remember one.
Let's do this shit.
Gentlemen.
Oh, you're doing this cut fucking in and out thing again. Come on, son.
Swear I'm going to kill all of you. I'm
Don't
just
be
gonna
such
kill
a
every
Jew
single one of you
and
off this show, and
get
I
a
will
better
find
mic.
new people to fucking be on this panel because I don't need any of you. Fucking
I have a mental
sabotaging me.
image of
Except for the
Ross
midget.
just taking the plug in and out just to fucking fuck with us.
I am not Yao the Troll. I promise you
That's
that.
right.
But just remember, you will never, ever beat me. Any of you. It's never going to happen. All right, here we go. The first fighter in this competition, I guess you could say in this this trivia game, he is 6 feet tall. Okay. He was robbed in his last fight, in my opinion.
I was about to say Shogun. What the fuck?
That was the point.
He was raped.
Some could argue he was robbed in his fight before that. He has a total of 16 professional mixed martial arts bouts. He was on TUF. Not going to tell you which one yet. He did not win TUF. I'd like to mention that too. He's been fighting since year.
Yeah, the year got cut off, Ross.
That's the whole point. I don't want you to hear the year. He's been fighting since the year 2002. He's actually competed in professional boxing. He has a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Nothing. He was on TUF 11. He did not win TUF 11. However, he did beat the winner of TUF 11. He beat the winner of TUF 11 twice.
Oh, God.
Dude, I'm having the biggest brain fart.
You bums. He has a 74-inch reach. He's American and Canadian. He fights at a TriStar.
Jake?
Ninja.
Jake did buzz in first, as much as I hate to say it.
I'm
Jake,
thinking TUF 11. Nick Ring?
Jake is correct.
It's a fancy boy.
It was Nick Ring. Nick Ring beat, little fun fact here, Nick Ring beat Court McGee on TUF 11. He won a majority decision, but he was actually supposed to fight Court again. So they would have fought 3 times. He was supposed to fight Court again because Court was reinstated later on. And then Nick Ring tore his ACL. So they had to take him out.
Dead?
Yes, he is. And then he fought Court again at UFC 149. He beat Court, but not a lot of people think so. Let's go to the next fighter. If you guys are ready. You guys are ready?
Yeah, rest in peace.
We're pulling out dead fighters now for this contest? All right.
Yeah. In death, they have a name.
This next fighter. You ready for this? It's going to be good. He is... I'll start with the height again. He's 6'3". He's young. Very young. Really young. Incredibly young. He has 20 total fights in his professional mixed martial arts career.
Ramses. I have
Go
a
ahead.
guess. Yep. The answer is Hornswoggle.
Next. And you're out, by the way. He weighs or fights in the 205-pound division.
Ninja. Johnny Bones Jones.
It is not Johnny Bones Jones. Ninja's out for the next 2, and then he can guess again after the next 2 hints. Ramses can guess again, I think, after 1. He has a 77.5-inch reach, not an 84.5-inch. Actually, I think they increased Jones. He might be up to like 85 now. Who knows?
It's actually up to 97.5.
97.5. I still think Weidman beats his head. Anyway, he's a master of sports.
Jake? You talking about Nikita Krylov right now?
Jake's up 2-0. Jake just needs 1 more point. And Jake wins. And the rematch happens.
Playing all sorts of sound effects on you bastards.
Are we getting a phone call? Is that...
That was a sound effect from Family Feud.
The only person calling in would be the majority stakeholder, and he's hosting the damn thing.
You're damn right. Next fighter. If Jake gets this, Jake only needs 1 more, guys. Like, you guys need to win 3 in a row, and Jake just needs 1 more.
You know what? Honestly, like, I'm not even fucking lying. I'm taking the next one off. Go ahead, guys.
That's probably a lie. You should just guess immediately. As a matter of fact...
Why not?
You should just guess right away. Just guess. Just guess. Who is it?
I'll wait until the first hint. I'll wait until at least 1 comes through. And then I'm going to guess once and not anymore. Go ahead, Ross.
We're going over the pay-per-view time. Let's do this.
You guys ready for this? All right, here we go. This fighter has been fighting since 2006.
Jake,
go ahead.
I don't even... Kenny Florian. Fuck if I know.
No. It is not. Jake is incorrect. Jake is out for the next 2, but he'll probably just sit out. Or not. Next hint. He's been fighting since 2006. He has a 70-inch reach.
Ninja.
Nate
Diaz.
It is not Diaz. He stands at 5 feet 8 inches tall. He weighs or fights in the 155-pound division.
Jake.
Jake is taking a guess already.
Bob
for the
Sapp.
win.
Bob Sapp.
It is not Bob Sapp. Close, but no cigar.
Shout out to Bob Sapp. He's awesome.
Shout out to Bob Sapp. He lost his last fight. And the one before that.
Alan. Diego Sanchez.
It is not Diego Sanchez. Alan is out for the next two.
Ramses has a guess here.
Ramses.
I'm just gonna go out on a fucking limb here. Is it Gray Maynard?
Jake, thank you for sending that message probably. But yes, it is Gray, the Bully Maynard.
Holy shit.
Ramses gets the point.
All works and trolls aside, that actually was a shoot. Ramses guessed it.
It's legit, man. God bless.
I'm not impressed. All right. Ramses actually, for the first time in Word on the Street history, has a point in this game. I think that deserves like a drop of some kind, maybe. Do you have anything?
The Vince McMahon music, man.
No, you didn't win.
He is a faggot.
Perfect. All right. Next fighter.
Time to close this thing out, boys.
Yeah.
Let's bring it home. Jake, fucking win so we can end this thing. Next fighter.
This fucking train wreck of a Word on the Street.
Yeah, the wheels fell off here.
Long ago.
Next fighter is a bantamweight who was a featherweight. That's a lot of options. He's been fighting since the year 2004. He fights out of Atlanta, Georgia. He fought in the WEC. He currently fights in the UFC, obviously. He has a total of 26 professional mixed martial arts bouts. He, let's see here. He's fought Mike Easton. He's also fought Joe Lozon. Silent.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of people in Atlanta.
He has a 67.5-inch reach. He is 5 foot 5.5 inches. He is ranked top 10 in the world in the bantamweight division.
Ramses,
go ahead.
Ricardo Rodriguez.
Next. Okay. Let's see. Running out of clues here. I would expect Jake to have it by now, but I guess not. It's interesting enough. His last fight was in February. And it was a victory. And it was a dominant victory at that. He has a total of 10 wins by submission. Staggering number. Although he does have a total of 9 decision wins. And 3 knockout wins to complete the 22 wins he has on his professional record.
I'm blanking so hard. What the fuck? You said he fights at bantamweight and he used to be a featherweight.
Correct.
Jake just needs time to type.
No, man, I'm just going through my head thinking of Atlanta. Like, I'm completely blanking on...
He has a brother.
Oh, I feel so stupid.
If you didn't hear that one, he has a brother. And a black belt in the art of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Ramses.
Ramses, go ahead.
Clay Guida.
No. Clay Guida's 5'5". What?
And he fights in Jackson camp,
Clay
not
Guida
fucking
dropped
Atlanta.
135. What? All right. Let's see. He's on a hell of a streak right now. He has won his last 6 fights.
Ninja. Joseph Benavidez.
It is not Joseph Benavidez.
Who trains in California.
Is he even a bantamweight?
He's a flyweight.
Fuck.
Who used to fight at bantamweight. And I'm pretty sure has not fought at featherweight. Let's see. Damn, this is a tough one for you guys. I did not expect this one to be a killer. Mainly that's because...
Allen.
Is
it a Sun Sao?
A Sun Sao? Who? Yeah, all right. I'll just give him that because there's only one in the UFC right now.
The one that fucking fought TJ Dillashaw.
Yes, it is Rafael Sun Sao.
The only reason I know that is because Brian Stan talked about him before training with him.
He fights out of fucking Atlanta?
Ascension Mixed Martial Arts.
Yeah.
Really? I thought he fought out of Brazil. I'm racist.
No. Whenever TJ Dillashaw and him fought, Brian Stan was like all up on a Sun Sao's nuts.
I was literally, my next clue was, although he fights out of Atlanta, Georgia, he is Brazilian. That was going to be my next clue. Like, I was literally about to say that, and Alan guessed it right before.
Well, I remembered because I asked Chael who he thought won that fight, and Chael was like, TJ definitely won the fight. And Brian Stan was like, oh, Sun Sao won that fight. Bleh.
Oh, God. Oh, it's Chael once again.
So
I was thinking, like, is this Miguel Torres? What the fuck?
Ramses has a point. Alan has a point. Jake has 2 points. Ninja still does not have a point. Ninja, get on the board. Let's stay here all night.
I got a little ahead of myself. Maybe it's not time to close it out yet. Shit.
No, maybe it's not. Jake's sweating a little. No, you still got some. Some space to work with. The next fighter.
Yeah.
Pick fucking names that I'm gonna know. Jeez.
These are names you should know. The next fighter. Let's go back up a little bit.
Mega Renzo.
He's not currently active on the roster.
Okay. But if you say fighter, there's only one fighter in the UFC, and that's Chael Sonnen. So all these questions are rigged.
This next fighter. Let's see. I want to pick someone we haven't done because we've done like every fighter on the roster. So I'm trying to think of something. I got something. No one will ever get. This fighter.
That's exactly what the listeners were hoping for.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There goes the last one.
I'm so evil. This guy is 6'4". He fights in the 205-pound division. No guesses? Okay.
I got a guess.
What is your guess?
Vinny Magalhães.
He's not on the roster. Oh, this is horrible. He has fought Glover Teixeira.
Allen. Is it Kyle Kingsbury?
It is Kyle Kingsbury. Wow. You did not fall into the trap.
Shit. Yeah, I was thinking it's like, is this obviously Jones?
No, it's Kyle Kingsbury. He's just now about to come back and fight in San Jose.
Yes.
God
yes,
damn.
he is. It is Kyle
My
Kingsbury.
God.
Allen has 2. Jake has 2. Ramses has
God.
1. Ninja has 0. This is really, really intense.
Wow.
It's now like Jake versus Allen, essentially. Unless one of them wants to steal it.
Yep, it's a war, man. It's going down right in this ditch of a podcast.
Someone's about to get raped.
Yep.
Someone is about to get raped. This next person, has fought the last man I just mentioned. Not Ramses, the last fighter. A real fighter.
Fuck, I don't even remember that guy's name, so this is fucking stupid.
Damn.
This fighter is 31 years old. He's an American. Fights in the middleweight and light heavyweight divisions. Jake?
Trying to think of a middleweight. Kyle Kingsbury's fought Tom Lawler.
It is Tom Lawler. Jake takes the final point.
Holy shit, final.
Alan, you put up a hell of a show. I know I'm going to see you again, but this Battle Royale was about one thing. I got shafted last week when Ramses put over his bastard son. It's not even going to be close next week. I'm going to buzz in 10 seconds before Ross every time. It will be undisputed. I'm going to get the belt that is mine back next week. Ross, you're the best damn trivia stud on this fucking podcast, but I'm going to take it from you. Alan, I'll see you next time. But this one was all about believing in evolution.
Hell yeah. Congratulations to Jake and Ross. There's the next setup right there. It's going to go down on the next episode of the Word in the Street podcast.
I would respond with a promo. I would tell you, Jake, that I'm going to destroy you next week, which I will. But this has been so bad and so hilariously bad, but so...
Yeah.
Let's just take this off the air right now. Like, shut it down.
Somebody shoot this podcast in the fucking head.
Cut it.
Yeah.
Cut the... Bye, everyone. Word on the street.
Yep, you heard the boss. He owns the place, so let's do that, people.
See you
Word on the
guys.
street. Later.